Welcome, everybody. Bernie Floresca with the June 26th edition of Business Relations Strategy, the Career Fair edition. So before we proceed, I'd like to review the three message design principles. We have Rais, Manoj, and Shubham on this call. So gentlemen, who could tell me what the three message design principles are whenever you're reaching out via text message, i.e. LinkedIn DMs, or email. Email may be a different beast, and actually we have Shubham who's going to share with us some of his email outreaches. So back to the question, what are the three message design principles? The first one says what?
Keep it short.
Very short. Okay, uber short. I like to add in the word uber because short seems to be relative to different people. Very good. So when we say short, what is the purpose of making it short?
The purpose of making it short is, for example, on LinkedIn, when we get a connection request, if it's super short, they can see our personalized invite in that along with that connection request, and they can kind of get the context of where we're coming from.
Immediately, they can see it. That's why we want it to be uber short. Very good. What's the second one?
Yeah. And the second one is just have like an open-ended conversation. But
what is the overarching idea of why it needs to be an open-ended question?
Because you want a response.
Okay, so you need to design whatever you're saying. Whenever you say something, it has to be structured such that you're expecting a response, to which asking an open-ended question is one way to do that. Very good. And then the last one?
Last one is never ask for favors.
Don't ask for favors in your first response. You could ask for favors eventually, but you need to build the relationship first. Very good, Manoj. You get an A+++ in the message design principles. All right. So you want to share your screen, Manoj, and start asking away?
Yeah, sure. Just a second.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just discussing with you earlier about like reaching out to alumni, like starting out reaching out to alumni. Like for example, I spoke to you the other day about like this example, and like so for context, this is someone I reached out to who has pursued an internship at a place that I applied for recently. And I figured that since he has done the internship recently, so he would be a good source in terms of explaining about how his experience was. But then, like as you can see, like after mine, like he had seen this, and like I'd asked your help on like how to prolong it, and I just asked him, "Do you follow the NFL by any chance?" Because if he doesn't, like I would have just tailored it to some other sport probably. So I just kept it more generic in a sense because I was not sure if like everyone is that into sports, and this was what I used in this case. So this was what I had reached out with you most recently.
Okay, let's go back to your first message, please.
Sure. Yeah.
Why do you think you didn't respond here?
Yeah.
Anybody, by the way, not just Manoj. So Shubham and Rais, feel free to jump in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think
Manoj.
I'll let the others go ahead first, because, like since this is my response. So and I'll give the feedback at the last.
All right. So Manoj is requesting response.
I think Manoj is directly come to the question straight away. So I think first need to build some kind of connection so that person can feel there is some basic grounding between Manoj and the second person.
Okay. So Ray's kind of noticed that. So thank you for that observation, Manoj. Anything from Shubham before Manoj tells us what he thinks of his message?
Yeah, I think the same because he directly jumped on the internship, I think. So it is something that, direct comes on the topic. I think we have to discuss something else than before jumping on topic.
Very good. So it has to fulfill the three things. Actually, Manoj, where we said greetings, Matthew, when you say short, this is one of the examples where I want to give additional qualification and say make it uber short, because this
Okay.
isn't quite uber short. All right.
Okay.
So before we go to your next message, or actually, did you have an idea as to what were your thoughts on why he did not respond to this, Manoj?
So I went through his LinkedIn profile, and like there were like certifications as well, like that were of interest. But what I thought, like my idea of how I approached this was like, since he's a recent intern, it would be like better to ask him about the internship, like since that's been a recent experience.
Mhm.
Like he is just working at an entry level position. So that was my idea. But then I
Okay.
just like obviously, like after looking back at it, it's just like even the question is like too long, and it's
Too
like,
long? Mhm.
yeah, and it's like kind of like, like just asking someone for their personalized opinion when you don't know them that well.
Okay. So I like what Manoj said in that number one, he went to the profile because the profile is always your clue to find
Right.
out what to say. So I like the second thing that Manoj also said, that he noticed there were certifications, et cetera, et cetera. So actually Manoj was on the right track thinking wise, but what he said didn't take advantage of what he found in the profile. So if you could please walk us through it, through Matthew's profile, and point to us where you said you saw the certifications. And I will give you, this is a teaching moment actually, to use the information that you found. Because in my mind, when you said that, I was already thinking of effective voice without even seeing the profile. So
Right.
for the purposes of everybody listening and for this team looking at the profile, please walk us through what you saw when you said that he did the certifications, et cetera, et cetera. But before you do that, Manoj, I
Yeah.
want you guys to be thinking of what can I say that's very personal to Matthew based on what Manoj is going to walk us through, wherein he is compelled to respond. I repeat, this has to do with message design principle number 2. Okay. So as Manoj is walking us through Matthew's profile and looking for information, I want you to be thinking of what information does Matthew have, such that if we say something about it that is quite compelling, that he would kind of feel like he needs to respond. You see, that's what you guys are being trained on. Okay. Any questions about my directives before Manoj shows us what he saw? Do you understand what I said?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Please walk us through.
Yeah. So for in this case, like this is a certification that I'm currently working on. So I
Okay.
just saw this at like the top of his profile as well.
Okay.
Like this
Okay.
was a talking point that I could have used. And I saw like
Okay,
security
let's
analyst.
stop right there. Let's stop right there. What could Manoj have said very quickly with just that information, security plus certified? Because that alone, Manoj could have come up with a one-liner where Matthew would be compelled to respond versus the message that Manoj sent. Any ideas? I'm assuming that the security certified is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Okay.
In services.
So raise, Shubham, ideas as to what can be said. That's a very quick one-liner where Matthew is compelled to respond. Hint, you are complimenting Matthew.
Yeah.
So what could be said? Go ahead, Manoj, if you had an idea.
Yeah, I was just thinking like of generally like saying like congrats on securing the security plus. And like I just thought like since he has to get a response, like probably asking him like how long did it take?
Okay, I think you're stuck with the asking question.
Yeah.
Because you said that the reason that you originally formulated it, asking a question, to your point earlier of being open-minded with the
Okay.
second design principle, is good, but there are other ways. And I
Okay.
actually gave you an idea already. How about you go the compliment route?
Right.
Any ideas as to what to
I would
say?
say glad to see your certificate, and I would like to talk more upon the security stuff. Any
I
technical,
think your first part was good,
yeah.
but you see
So
the
the
second part?
question we should ask something related to the certificate, I can say, or any technical
I think
stuff regarding this.
did you hear what I just told Manoj? I said he was kind of like stuck in the question. So not very effective
So,
because I already gave you a clue. Compliment him. What can you
so
say?
I would go with the compliment and a
How?
message like I go through your profile and you have a very good certificate, security certificate, and give a compliment. After that, I will leave a message
Okay,
that
hang on a second. We're
looking
dissecting
forward to
this.
connect you in future.
No, 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 no. You see how he mentioned 3 sentences? When I put that down, it's quite long. Okay. Raise was along the right mindset of complimenting. Say what was your first sentence?
First sentence would be, "Hi Matthew, I look forward to your profile and you got
Okay, hang on.
very good
Okay. Let me
certificate."
clean that up. Okay.
Mhm,
The way
mhm.
you guys are speaking is kind of like very formal. Okay. And I'm having you guys try to think out of the box so that you're different from everybody else. Everything that Ray said right now sounds normal and sounds like what somebody else would say. And that's why it's not effective because you're kind of like going through normal routes, which is totally understandable. That's why you're here on this call because you're trying to learn other methods. Okay. But what Ray's just said is very normal. Try it again. Go the compliment route and try something else. And I want Shubham and Manoj to think with him. Nothing?
Only
But
security, like that certificate point of view, you're saying? Because we
Doesn't
have a lot
matter.
of stuff around his profile. We can
Well,
talk
we're
about.
just looking at certificate. You see, this is what I'm trying to teach you guys. Just with this thing that you're seeing on the screen, I can come up with something really quick already that is going to get better response than Manoj's, or better response than Ray's suggestion, which was going the compliment route. Give up?
yeah,
Do
the
you
first
remember
part of
my
it,
message? Go ahead.
the compliment part of it like naturally makes sense, but I'm just like struggling with the second part of like tying it up in such a way that it necessarily doesn't have to be a question and you get a response. Like because for example, like let's say if I tell you like you have a nice suit, like in a face-to-face interaction, like that would generate a response because it's like we're face-to-face. But
Actually, there's a better way to say you have a nice suit in person. Okay. And this is the point I'm trying to make. Okay. Guys, follow with me. All right. What Manoj said, you have a nice suit, is a very normal way of saying, if I was in the same room as Manoj and I would say, Manoj, you have a very nice suit, it's totally understandable. But what would get a different reaction that's kind of like more emphatic? Okay. I'm going to demonstrate it to you guys. All right. So picture me and Manoj in the same room. All right. I'm going to compliment Manoj on his nice suit. I'm going to say, Manoj, you have a very nice suit. To your point, yes, you would respond because I'm complimenting it. How about this? You guys ready? And this is what I want you guys to be doing on the internet.
okay.
Ready for the approach?
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome suit, Manoj. Which one would he react to quicker?
The second one, like
Why?
the
Why?
because you're naturally interested, like you're showing enthusiasm and interest in his suit, like compared to the other, like my response to which was like very
And
normal.
did you notice how short it was compared to Manoj? You have a very nice suit, which was what I was describing with Raise's approach earlier. Okay. He kind of said, Manoj, you have a nice suit to Matthew. He was going the normal route. But in Matthew's case, Manoj could have said, wow, security plus certified, exclamation point. Are you guys relating it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Shubham and Ray's reactions.
Yeah, second one is, I think, uh, a bit exclamatory,
So
basically.
did you see how I captured that? And I'm translating it to you guys for messaging, right? Manoj could have just said, wow, ... security certified. And then when Matthew looks at this, well, nothing is 100%, okay? But between Manoj's original message and wow, security plus certified, which one do you think is more likely to get a response?
Wow.
The second one, right?
Yeah.
What did you guys just learn?
I mean, just don't don't overcomplicate things. Like just stick to the base.
Very good.
Don't
No, very good. That's
don't be general.
yes. Don't take the general approach because that's the route that Ray's took it. And I guess I'd like to acknowledge you guys for getting on calls like this because who talks about what we just spoke about? Nobody, right?
Yeah.
Who talks about you have a nice suit, Manoj, versus wow, great suit.
Mhm.
But nobody talks about this stuff, right?
Right.
But from the
Right.
standpoint of being effective and getting what you need out of the situation, it's showing you how to be effective. You guys learn anything?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we
Yeah.
done for today?
I
All
would
right.
like to show you another response as well. Like this was like with an alumni.
Actually,
So,
why don't we go further through Matthew's
okay.
profile with
Oh,
some of
okay.
the stuff that
Probably
you saw,
response.
and then I want to hear each of you come up with one thing that's kind of like what I shared.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just
So Raise and Shubham, ask Manoj to stop whenever, but I want you guys to formulate and apply what you just learned with wow, security plus certified.
I can say the above only, on the profile photo only.
Mhm.
So there is some. Can you just scroll down? Yeah. So here we can see there are mutual connections already there, right? So we can start the topic by the Adam Hassan is there in mutual. So we can talk, kind of reference or a friend of Adam or something like that to the Adam so that next person can respond.
Okay, what are your ideas? Give me verbatim what you would say, Shubham. Apply it. So you got to think of
Like,
it. It's got to be uber short, and then it's got to be crafted so that you're expecting a response.
give me a second.
All right. While you're thinking of it, Raise, did you have something or Manoj?
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
I think I had something like just because we've interacted, like we discussed this earlier about like the
Okay.
Buccaneers.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Where did you get the Buccaneers?
Also, something about the Buccaneers, probably that you could say like in like quicker words or like you could just cross relate because in sports like you can follow same teams.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can say something like you said wow like security plus.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say something like verbatim like wow Buccaneers fan.
Wow, Buccaneers fan.
Yeah, I support the like I was just thinking of tying that along in
How
like
about you research on the internet a recent
yeah,
win of the Buccaneers and then
yeah,
refer to that very specifically? You see how this is going to make you different? Because
right, right,
Buccaneers fan, that was good because not everybody's a Buccaneers fan, but I'm taking you even further. Think of something very current with the Buccaneers that you could find on, say, Google or Yahoo, and then talk about that. Let's just say Jones was a player, and hey, did you see Jones make that whatever?
right,
That pass or that run or whatever. Number one,
right,
it's very timely. And number two, if he's truly a fan, he'd be like, oh, yeah, he'd jump all over it. Or he could be like, no, I didn't see that game. And then he'd engage you and ask you more about it.
right. That makes sense.
Did you see how I took that further?
Yeah.
Actually, that was my comment for your second message. That's why I didn't go to it.
Yeah. I read that initially, but then I was like, I was just thinking of something more generic, so that's why I used that. But like, yeah.
Yeah, but did you see what I just spoke about? Because you were asking about NFL in general, and my thought was I already saw in his about that he's a Buccaneers fan.
Right.
So your question was kind of like irrelevant, or no, let me say that properly. Your question did not take advantage of the intel that you know.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay, so now you understand. This is good practice, guys, because I'm getting your wheels spinning in that we're going beyond what you'd normally think about. And I think that's where the learning occurs. Shubham, did you have anything at this point? Or Raise, did you want to jump in?
I think you made a really good point. That is what I'm thinking before regarding what he said. What was the name of the team?
Buccaneers.
Yeah, so I would really love to search about Buccaneers.
Yes.
How's he's playing? What are their statistics? And then
Yeah,
ponder on that point very particularly. That endorse
very
Matthew
particularly.
that endorse Matthew to respond me.
Yes. All right, good. I think you guys are catching the drift of where we're leading you to point number 2 in the design principle, such that whatever you say is designed such that they're compelled because of the way that you made it up. They're kind of compelled to respond. Shubham, did you have anything yet?
Yeah, so we can message him like first message we can say, hi Matthew, I see you are connected with the Adam Hassan, who is one of my best friend, and how you connected with him so that we can start a conversation basically
Okay. How about
with the
this?
Adam.
How about this? I would say, Matthew, Adam Hussein is my best friend! Exclamation point. Which one is better, yours or mine?
But what about like Adam? So he might be
No,
curious to know,
because
like,
you said, yeah. Did you
like
see he'd be curious to know? Did you see how you said all these words and all I said, Matthew, Adam Hussein is my best friend! Exclamation point, or even period. To your point, I designed that such that he's curious. He's compelled to say, oh, how, he's going to talk more about Adam.
okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, versus everything that you said. Okay, I'm just going to point out that the danger sometimes of referring to mutual connections like this is sometimes they don't know these people. Okay,
Yeah,
because sometimes I connect with people, but in your example, Shubham, that was a good example because Adam happens to be your best friend. So there is a direct connection to you.
yeah.
You guys learn anything? Comments? I think Manoj had like a next case, or we can go to Shubham.
I think we can scroll the profile a little bit.
Okay, Manoj. Shubham wants to take another shot.
Yeah, just a second, bro.
Shubham, you got what you need?
We can see his activities basically, where he's commenting what his
Yes.
likes are.
Actually, can you guys say something cunning about his shift left comment? I think the first comment is wide open. The second one, not really. Any ideas on the first comment?
So what I'm saying is he had a security plus certificate as well, and he loved to talk about security as well. You can see he's congratulating others that I love seeing those developer getting security training. So we can talk about on this topic as well, because as far as I see
No. Hang on. Don't talk generalities. I want verbatim what you'd say, because that tells me I think you guys already got the concept. Now I'm in the application state where I want you guys to practice. So raise. So for example, can you open that, Manoj? The shift left comment in the actual post. So raise, I pull you in by saying something about Matthew's comment, and I would tag him if I commented on this. So what could we say on Matthew's comment? So if we commented on Matthew's comment, he gets a ping. If you tagged him, he gets a ping. So I leave that up to you. Or if you liked that comment, he's got to see that you liked it, but it's not really taking it to the next step. Are you guys understanding the nuances I'm talking about? Yes, no, I don't know. I want to
Yes,
know.
yes.
Okay. So I want suggestions from the three of you. How can we get on Matthew's radar using this? Manoj is actually trying to get on his radar, so you have skin in the game. Manoj, what are you going to do?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, Bunny. Like there was a student here, so I didn't catch what you said. Could you repeat that again, please?
So this student, Matthew is a person that you want to get on his radar. So we found this comment. So what can you do for Matthew at this point? You can do one of three things. You could like, and then he gets a ping saying Manoj liked it, or you can comment, and then he gets a ping saying that somebody commented on his comment, or you could even tag him, and then he's going to see that Manoj made a comment. So take your pick, Manoj. How can we take advantage of this particular situation?
I think, like to your point, we can just take advantage of this comment and like reply below that because he gets a ping.
No, okay, that's the generals. I want you to practice application. What would you say exactly?
Yeah, but I would have to design something that's targeted and that's talking about me working on it currently.
Don't make it about you. That's the usual issue people have. They always make it about them, okay? Part of the strategy is making it about the other person, because guess what everybody is that you are trying to differentiate yourself from?
Right.
Everybody's talking about themselves.
Right.
Part of the strategy is to talk not about yourself, because that's going to make you stand out, because everybody's talking about themselves.
So I would reply with this like, wow, developers with security training is a massive boom, something like that.
Say that again. Wow,
developers with security training is a boom, or something like endorsing them.
Let's make that tighter. Again,
Like,
part of it is we're trying to compel Matthew to say something to what we said. So when you say, wow, and then you're giving like a generalization about developers, it's not necessarily compelling for Matthew to respond.
Right.
Okay. So you have the right idea in commenting about it, but I want you guys to go past that. I'm trying to get you guys to have the skill of saying something smart so that the other party is compelled to say something.
I can say like we can rephrase it, but basically along with the developers, also students who are certified in this security training, they're getting jobs, something like that. Along with the developer students, we can talk about some student stuff.
Is he going to be compelled to respond?
Yeah, she can.
No, put yourself in Matthew's shoes. If somebody said that, do you feel like you need to respond, or you just read it and be like, oh, okay.
We can ask like what are other certifications you have done related to security.
So you're taking another strategy, and it's to ask a question.
Yeah.
Okay, but you gave me a general again. So let's dissect what you would actually ask. What's the significance of shift left? Looks like Manoj's computer is going wacko. Is there a
Yeah, no,
significance?
I just brought the charger.
Is there a significance to shift left?
Yeah, it's a principle in like software development.
Okay, so can you say something smart about shift left that Matthew would have to respond to?
Mm,
So let's follow Shubham's idea of asking a question. However,
Right.
his question was kind of like talking about student so long. It was a general thing again that based on what I heard Shubham say, I'm not necessarily compelled to respond to it. So that's part, again, I repeat, of what you guys are being trained in, to say something smart because you're being strategic. And the effect is the other party is compelled to respond because of what you said. Kind of like, wow, great suit. So what's in that category for this particular message?
mm.
So what's the significance of shift left, Manoj?
Yeah, so shift left is basically like working in small batches, like typically, like for tasks, and it's like a kind of like find ways to like reduce the load and like work on things in batches,
Okay.
so that you kind of combine that to the whole process.
So can you say something about shift left that kind
Yeah,
of gets into everything that you just shared that would
yeah,
compel him to respond?
yeah. I'm just thinking about something from that and something from cyber security that would like kind of like align with that comment.
Okay.
I'm just thinking
You're
of something that combines that.
okay. We're still talking theory here, and we're in the application stage because I want to
Yeah,
go through what you come up with, because this is usually what happens, right? After
yeah,
this call, you go back to the computer, you're reaching out to these people, and then I guess the practice is applying what you're learning on the call. So that's why I'm trying to be big brother over your shoulder to see
right,
what the idea is. So your idea, Manoj, is good. I
right,
just want to take it a step further for today, such
right,
that what would you say exactly, and we can dissect it a little bit to take it to the next level.
right. Like I'm not getting like a verbatim thing of that, so I'm just like trying to get like something like close to like
Yeah.
what I want to say. So I'll just take like a minute to.
Yeah, I know it's not easy. Plus, you're at the front desk taking care of students. So I think you guys got what I was trying to talk about. What I want these calls to be is more of the practical stuff where you say X, and X is exactly what you would say so that we could dissect it a little bit further. If you notice that, that's kind of like what I commented about Ray's comment. That's what I commented about Shubham's comment, suggestions. But okay, I think we beat this horse to death at this point because, to Manoj's point, he needs to think about this a little bit. So why don't you stop sharing, Manoj? Maybe let's spend the last few minutes with Shubhams.
Okay, sure.
Thanks for sharing that. Shubham, did you have your case we can talk about for the last few minutes?
I have mine, but I already got like referral from that communication.
Okay,
I did
so
share
let's
that, like, let's see what we can improve in that also.
yes, I was going to go that route. So congratulations on getting that referral. So obviously something worked. So nice job, Shubham.
Is my screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. So
All right, let's dissect your messages on June 15. Was Shubham's message short?
wait. I will just
Oh, that's
check
different.
messaging.
You can close our conversation because people aren't going to learn from that.
Yeah.
So let's see the
so
first message. Is this short? I want to hear
not short.
Manoj. It's Okay, even you agree that it's not short, but it obviously worked because she responded. The problem with a longer message is they may respond, they may not respond. In your case, Kate responded. So let's see. It's great connecting. How have you been? Okay, again, you're approaching this from the normal standpoint. It's usual to say it's great connecting. It's usual to say, how have you been? And I'm Shubham. You're making this about you, which I don't necessarily, agree with, but obviously it worked for you because she responded. I see you working as an implementation. If I were Shubham, I would jump directly to I see you working as implementation consultant. Okay. And then did you see how I cut a bunch of Shubham's messages out?
Right.
Take a look at all the keystrokes that I got rid of if I jump directly to I see you're working as implementation consultant at Fast Enterprises. Obviously, you don't even need to say at Fast Enterprise LLC because she knows where she works.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about? These are all extra keystrokes. All right. You can say, I see you working as implementation consultant, comma, curious about what your position means and what your responsibilities for it. Okay. Let's see what Kate said.
So,
Hi, Shubham. Thanks for reaching out. Okay. She's
So
nice.
she explained like everything what she was doing, what is implementation.
Yeah, hang on. Let's see what, because looking at her response tells me what her reaction was to what you said. All right.
Okay.
The reason I'm studying what she is responding to, because it's kind of pointing to what was effective in your outreach. All right. So despite your longer message, number one, I can tell that she's a nicer person that has more time than usual because she said, thanks for reaching out. Hope grad school as well. She's kind of like a people person in that acknowledging you. Okay. Basically, we built, she actually went directly to answer your questions. So she gets double points on being nice. We built software for government organizations. This means tax. Employment software is commercial. Slightly different. Okay. You got lucky with Kate. Okay. Not everybody would give you a response as detailed as Kate. So before we proceed further, Ray's and Manoj, any questions about what we've covered so far? This is good, by the way. Thank you for your generosity in sharing this, Shubham. Questions from Ray's and Manoj?
Yeah, I think like even from my experience of reaching out to people, like just to your point, like what I've learned like throughout time is like you want to keep it like as like even from the example I showed you, it's like you want to keep it as concise as possible because like when you put that much information, like in general, like you kind of are at a risk of the nature of the person in a sense, if they want to reply or not. And it's like just like people in the industry don't have that much time to like go through that on LinkedIn because like I've talked to people like at various events and they're like all they go to do on LinkedIn is like to stay updated on the latest things and it's like hopefully connect with people, but they also did mention like they get a lot of like sales pitches and like you kind of fall into that bracket of like with the long messages you kind of fall into
with
that
long messages are the usual stuff because I know that Shubham started with hi, he kind of went the normal route to which, to Manoj's point, is what everybody else does. So very good, Manoj. I think you're noticing why I'm being a character ninja, not just in resumes, but also in messaging.
Right.
All right, very good. Braze, unless you had something, we're going to proceed. Scroll further, please.
Kate is really a nice person that she replied in detail.
She did. Look at this. She has 2 more paragraphs. Depending on the day, as you're not above 50%, some people, tech teams. Okay, so here's what I want you to learn, okay? Kate obviously spent some time, is a very nice person, and gave Shubham the time of day, meaning she gave him a lot of time. So what I want you guys to be thinking, if this was situation, okay, it's a preview to what Shubham said. I would be gathering, just like the exercise that we did with Matthew earlier, any information, any intelligence is an opening for you, an opportunity to craft something such that they would respond. All right. So notice everything that Kate said. We'll take a look at 2 things. One, what did Shubham say? And number two, what could we say instead if Shubham's weren't what we think is effective based on what we're talking about? So Shubham, you get first crack on critiquing what you said next. So go down to the next part. So Shubham says, interesting. Okay. It was interesting, but look at the timestamp. Shubham said interesting at 12:02, and then he didn't say anything else until 12:09. What I want to point out, Shubham, is don't allow lapses like this. Okay, you could have gotten busy if you were busy, because interesting doesn't necessarily elicit a response from the other party. Okay, but it sounds like maybe you were busy, and then that's why at 12:09 you continued to say something else. Okay, let's see. So Shubham matched Kate's long message. She goes, thanks for letting me know. Insightful it is. Actually, I've been active. Okay, did you notice how he jumped directly to him?
Yes.
You guys catch this? Shubham kind of got a lead and he kind of like all over it. Remember when I talked to you guys previously? It's like whenever your target, you're kind of like going for the neck immediately.
Right.
Kate gave an opening, and guess what Shubham did? He went for the neck.
Right.
Shubham, make sense?
Yeah, because
She was starting
I
with
know
the
she was a
relationship.
nice person and
Well, she was
said,
nice, but you
Yeah.
just said, "Oh, nice. Let me go for her nut." Is kind of what you did.
yeah,
This is part of the skill that I want you to guys hold back on it. If you find a nice person, match their being nice. Don't just dump on them, because to me, this is dumping all over her. She was nice, and then you kind of like dumped all over her, started talking about you, especially since you started your conversation with asking them about themselves. So I think you were the same person, Shubham, who asked me this question in another meeting. You said, isn't it obvious to them that we're after something that
Yeah.
is to find a job? In this case, yeah, it's very obvious with the way you acted, right? Because you started the conversation, you were asking about them. Sure, they responded, they were very nice, and then you immediately went for it.
So it might happen, just on this point, that whichever position we want the referral, it might get closed until the
Well,
point
you got
we need to
lucky
ask.
because she
Because this
gave
has
you the
happened with
referral.
me a lot of time.
Well, like I said, not everything's 100%. And yes, you could get it that it works. And like even in I say in resume, we're giving you advice, we're giving you best practices. But at the end of the day, this is your job search, not mine. So you decide what you want to do. I'm just saying that the whole premise of business relations is truly based on creating a relationship with another party. To me, this whole interaction was transactional. You started with a strategy. Oh, yeah, she opened up because she was a nice person. And then you got what you wanted. Transactional. End of story.
Right.
You get the difference? You're being taught business relations, and you're being taught genuine business relations, not just strategy this, strategy that. It's truly trying to get to know some of these people, because guess what happens? If you had a great relationship with Kate, aside from this referral that she gave you today, she could actually be an advocate for you in the future if you play your cards right.
Right.
And that's why we're calling out, and that's why we're kind of going through these things, so that hopefully you learn from the actions that you're taking. So I want to hear what you learned, Shubham. What are you taking away from that discussion with this generous share of yours?
Yeah, like first of all, with the first message, you should be short,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you know about the next person, don't try to jump in on the like referral, we can say.
Mm-hmm.
Or
You still try to
Take
find
some,
out more about them and build on the
yeah,
relationship.
like get and like any possible insightful skills, we can say, or any guidance from them if they are they wanted to helpful. Then yeah, this is what I want. I can say.
Yeah. So again, just to drive the point home, think of a parallel of your best friend, right? So your best friend, you could say, oh, the strategy is I want to compliment them on their nice suit. So like Manoj, for example. So this was somebody that you wanted in school to get to know. And you say, hey, Manoj, you have a nice suit. They would respond back. And then you got there. And then can you imagine yourself after he responded to you have a nice suit? Hey, can you go buy me dinner or lunch or whatever? That's kind of like essentially what you're doing with the asking for a referral for a job. You know, it comes from complimenting them to,
Got
hey,
it.
give me something. You guys getting?
Yes.
Are you guys catching why we're teaching you business relations? So congratulations, you got that. And she goes, sure, I can refer you. Okay, let's clean this up. Referral sent, good luck. Yeah, I got it. I can't tell you how happy I am after seeing your referral. Scroll down. What else after 312? Let's see. There are very few people. Okay, I like what Shubham did. There are very few people like you who exist on LinkedIn. So it's actually genuinely complimenting Kate at this point. This is true relationship. So nice job there, Shubham, where you said there are very few people. You took the time to say that out. Thanks a lot. You're great. Happy to be in touch with you and also to work with you if I get selected. And then Kate, she said a smiley face. Oh, of course, I know how difficult it is to find internships. I'm happy to help in any way. And then let's see what Shubham said.
That
Thanks,
was
Kate.
basically
Hi,
one.
Kate.
Yeah.
How
And
are
then
you? I would do one thing for Kate. Keep going. She actually responded. Hi there. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Keep going. I'm good. Unfortunately, I got to reject. Okay, this is all about Shubham again. All right. This is the friend who we don't like, only reaches out if they need something. So let me teach you something that you could have done in between. Click Kate Dutcher, and we will end the call on this note. Open her profile. Scroll to the bottom. Get rid of my message, man. You're filling out space. People can't learn from that.
no, I'm trying.
All right, scroll to the bottom. You know where I'm trying to direct you, right? Go to the
Yeah.
skills. All right, skills. Open up all 33 skills. She knows about general attack. She knows about cybersecurity. Pick one skill that you want to endorse her on.
I can take SQL.
You don't know her SQL experience. You do, however, know how she treats other people. How about you endorse her for customer experience?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I don't know if you guys caught the nuance out there. Shubham was about to compliment her on a technical skill, but Shubham has never worked with Kate. Okay, so from Shubham's standpoint, if he endorses her for SQL, fine, he did that. But I think Shubham at this point knows more of the personal experience that he got from Kate. So endorsing her for customer experience would be more authentic because
Yeah. Right.
Shubham has an actual experience with Kate. So why don't you endorse that? So guess what just happened? Kate just got a ping saying that Shubham endorsed her for customer experience. Do you see the value of what we just did?
Exactly. Like,
Manoj and Race, did you get the value of what we just shared?
Yeah, exactly.
So in between, okay, because you notice that transactional. Shubham got what he wanted. He didn't say anything for a while. And then when he got back to her, he was just getting back because he didn't get the referral. Okay. Everything's so transactional. But what I'm suggesting to you guys about endorsing one skill, it's kind of giving back to them as little as it is.
Right.
Okay. The other thing that Shubham could have said, if there's any way I can look out for you, please let me know.
Right.
So you could ask them a question, say, hey, what are you up to? So that I can also keep an eye out for what you need.
Right.
Shubham, did you catch that?
Yes, Bernie, I got that.
So what did I say? Shubham? Manoj? So repeat what I just said about a message.
you-
One way was to endorse them. I just
Yeah.
gave you a second way, and I'm ending the call on this second part.
Yeah. So the way you said was like just respect the relationship and like just make sure that they feel that they're appreciated in a sense, and just let them know that you can do anything for them since like in this conversation, like she has done a lot, and that is the least you can do. Like, I can keep an eye out for you. That's what he said.
Yes. So you could say something to the effect of, oh, by the way, I've been talking about myself, which is kind of like in Shubham's case, right? He could clean this up by saying, oh, Kate, by the way, I apologize for just having talked about myself. My apologies. But what are you up to nowadays? So maybe I can keep an eye out for you. So number one, Shubham cleans it up saying, oh, sorry, I've been talking about myself. And then number two, he's saying, oh, what are you up to? So I can learn more about it. So I can keep an eye out for you as well. So now it becomes an even, relationship. It's not just them helping you. You're reaching out to say, hey, I can help you also. Make sense?
Yes.
This was a very productive question and answer. I can tell from like the issues that we touched on. So thank you for your generosity, Manoj and Shubham, and Raise. Even if you just woke up, it sounds like you were participating and you got a lot out of this. I am going to send out the recording. Please keep us posted in the BRS chat or send me your messages directly. But I guess Shubham, nice work, man. You got that referral. And Manoj, it sounds like you're moving forward.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. See you on LinkedIn. Bye, guys.